And so after releasing that book in July of 2021, I wanted to use the next 24 months leading up to this event as one thing. Proof that the stuff that I show in $100 million leads actually works. To get leads today in the real world, and it'll work for you too. Because I wasn't born with a 5 million person audience. This was only 24 months ago on YouTube. And this is today. And this was 24 months ago on my podcast, a completely different platform. And this is today. And I did this spending only 2 days per month dedicated to advertising, with the rest of my time running our portfolio. In fact, during this time, within the first 24 months, our portfolio companies, on average, 2.8x revenue and 4.7x profit. Meaning you can still do the stuff that grows your company without spending all your time getting leads. It seems simple enough, but everyone tries to skip to the make money part. It doesn't work. I tried. You need all the pieces. You need the stuff to sell and offer. You need people to sell it to, leads. Then you got to get all those people to buy it, sales. Once you put all those in place, then you can make money. My first book, $100 Million Offers, covers the first step and gives you the stuff. It answers the age-old question, what should I sell? Answer, an offer so good, people feel stupid saying no. But strangers can only buy your stuff if they know you exist. This takes leads. Leads mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but most agree that they're the first step to getting more customers. In simpler terms, it means they've got the problem to solve and the money to spend. If you're reading this book, you already know that leads don't magically appear. You need to go get them. More precisely, you need to help them find you so they can buy your stuff. So here's how I learned it. Now back to our story. Once I had clients from posting content, I wanted more. Noticing a recurring theme here. So I started shadowing at a gym. The gym owner, Sam, didn't use any paid advertising. He used a method called Groupon to get new customers. Some of you younger lads might not remember this, but some of the older folks in the room will. After watching how it worked, I was convinced I could do the same thing and launch my own gym. So right before I left his gym to start my own, I remember calling a mentor. I said, okay, so here's how it works. You get 100 people who buy your Groupon every month for 39 bucks. And from there, you get 40 of them to stay for 150 bucks a month. So you get paid to get new customers. People only make ads sound complicated because they don't understand them well enough to make them simple. Because once you do understand them, they're easier than you think. So that's pretty much what I did for a while. I kept posting content, I kept reaching out to folks, and running paid ads. And that's how I scaled my gyms. And was able to eventually sell my locations. And that's when I started my next company, Gym Launch, our licensing business, when everything went really right. For context, over the next 4 years, we took out $40 million in owner distributions. And then, something terrible happened. Cold outreach saved Gym Launch during its hardest time, during COVID. And it was pivotal in making it a sellable company that didn't rely on my face and keep growing. To this day, the company is up 45% from when I sold, with outbound equating to over 50% of sales. Learning to advertise with cold outbound kept my company alive. And that's how I learned cold outreach, which is simply privately letting people know who don't know you about your stuff, AKA advertising one-to-one to strangers. So that's how I learned it. Here's how I used it for this book. So I reached out to people to ask to be on their podcast to speak about the book. I was like, hey, can I be on your podcast? And they're like, you sure can. And this is actually a more advanced move combining two types of advertising, which I'll get to later. You make more money when more people find out about your stuff. When you double your leads, you double your business. There are only two types of people who can get you leads, you and other people. We talked about the core four. Why these companies hit billions overnight, AKA advertising. We talked about warm reach outs. We talked about posting content. We talked about the hook, retain, reward framework. We talked about how I use paid ads for this book. We talked about the best landing page templates. We talked about how I learned cold outreach. We talked about how to get leverage with lead getters. We talked about how I used customer referrals to get even more leads. And how we used our team to get even more leads. And how we used advertising agencies to get even more leads. There are problems you solve that get people to buy, and there are problems to solve that waste your time. You gotta pick the right ones. Second, figure out how to solve it. Third, figure out how to deliver it. Fourth, test what to name it. Because if they don't like what you name it, they're never gonna consume it to begin with. Which brings it to number 5, which is make it easy to consume, because they don't consume it, they're not gonna give value. If they don't give value, they're not gonna buy. Step 6, make it darn good. There's a specific way that I approach lead magnets that make them better and increase their perception of value that can dramatically change the buy rates afterwards. And then finally, step 7, make it easy for them to tell you they want more. This sounds crazy, but step 7 is actually the number one thing that people miss when they are making lead magnets and why they give a lead magnet away and then no one buys. In fact, this system alone permanently 17x'd our applications at acquisition.com in 3 months. And the best part is the first 5 clients frameworks works no matter what you sell. So here's what it'll show you how to do. Step 1, get your list. Step 2, pick the right platform. Step 3, personalize your message. Step 4, reach out. So I'll give you the exact scripts, the exact openers, the things that we do, the ACA framework that we've used to massage customers and prospects to get them to want to buy. Step 6, get them to invite their friends. Step 7, how to make the easiest offer in the world. This is the one that everyone wants to say yes to, and especially if you're starting out, I'll just give it to you. That way people say yes to you on the first shot. Step 8, how to get the most from your leads, which is there's 3 ways you can monetize leads. I'll show you all 3. 9, how much, and when to start charging, especially when you're starting out. Getting the right price and knowing when to start charging someone and how much is one of the most confusing parts. I'll show you a step-by-step process that works every time. Now, let's say you're in the opposite situation. You never want to be the face. You hate being on camera or making content, or you hate the constantly changing platform algorithms, but you still want to make consistent sales. Then I made this for you, the cold outreach playbook. So here's why cold outreach is awesome. Number 1, you don't need to be good on camera. Number 2, you don't need to make tons of content. Number 3, your competition will never know what you're doing, so you can operate in secrecy. I told you earlier, there's a $10 million a month business in my space. I didn't even know they existed because they used outbound. 4, if you do enough volume, it becomes incredibly reliable. In short, once you have it going, you become very hard to stop. I already told you this playbook has been worth millions to me. So think about how ridiculous this is. That was the sales growth we had during COVID as a gym company. That's how reliable this is once you get it going. And it was the largest contributor to our $46.2 million exit during COVID. So if it was the missing link for us then, it can certainly work for you now, no matter what your economic condition is around you. And for me, the system cost me $150,000 in payroll and 6 months of test to figure out the painful way. But I want to save you the 6 months of trial and error and the $150,000 it took me to learn this and just give you the winning lottery numbers. You just got to cash them in. You could literally ignore everything else I taught you today and use this to figure out the one message you need to send to make money and never worry about where you get your next sale from again. That's it. And the best part was they took care of the advertising and the selling for us. We just delivered the products. Now, this was the second time I had tried to launch affiliates. The first time was a complete disaster. And it took me 2 years before I launched again, and this time I documented all the mistakes that I had made the first time. And since then, I've done $75 million in sales from affiliates between all our portfolio companies. And as a reminder that this works, today, this is the exact process I followed to get 23,722 affiliates who promoted this event. So you could skip every other section and only get one business to send you leads using this playbook and cover the entire investment for this system for good, which would transform your entire business and maybe your life. And so this is what it looks like at scale. Your media team scales tons of free content in all media types on many platforms. You regularly make offers to your warm audience to get more customers or affiliates. Your audience goodwill makes anything you launch immediately profitable. You have teams running and scaling profitable paid ads across multiple platforms. Your cold outreach teams get you more customers on autopilot. You have affiliate managers launching and integrating all new affiliates. You have recruiters and recruiting agencies bringing in more lead getters. Your product is so good that a third of your customers bring you more customers. Your executive team drives all this growth without you. And you have more engaged leads than you can possibly handle. And that last part is the most important. And so as an exclusive bonus for everyone here today, you're all going to get a copy of $100 Million Journal, absolutely free. $278 pages of frameworks, which includes all the drawings and iterations with videos explaining how each concept came to be. Who here would like to start or grow their business bigger than it currently is? Let me know in the chat. Great. Otherwise, this would have been a very short presentation. So rather than talk about all the ways that we could grow it, I want to take the reverse approach. How could you guarantee that you'd shrink or never grow to begin with? Answer, tell no one about your stuff. And if no one knows about your stuff, we can be pretty sure they aren't going to buy it. We laugh, but some of you are doing this right now. So let's assume that you already have something to sell, amazing, valuable thing. If more people find out about it, do you make more money? Yes. So here's a writer-downer. All else being equal, when you double your leads, you double your business. Sometimes it really is that simple. There's a reason these companies hit billions almost overnight. They had already advertised enough to build that size company. They just needed to make an offer. And that's great for them, but what if you're in the reverse situation? You have an offer and no one to give it to. Then you need to let them know about your stuff. In other words, you need to advertise. Bottom line, advertising is important because if no one knows about your stuff, no one buys it. But there's another huge reason getting leads is so important for entrepreneurs. If you always know how to get more leads, it gives you endless chances to get it right. The cool part about warm outreach is no matter how advanced you get, you still use it. And whether you're getting your first 5 customers, your next 5 customers, or you're launching a new product in a division of a company, it often starts the same way, with warm outreach. And the best part is you can start using it the moment you get off this presentation today. So warm outreach works on email, phone call, direct messages, physical mail, voicemails, carrier pigeons, anything where you talk to people one-on-one, all right, on platforms like these. So that's where you can use it today. Now let's talk about the second way to get leads, posting free content. So I put up the ugliest ad you've ever seen, just like I learned at the workshop. I'm looking for 5 local residents to take place in a free 6-week challenge. You must let us use your before and after pictures in our marketing in exchange for the program. Click the link to sign up. No images, no videos, no frills, just words, all caps. And it worked. I signed up 29 members before I opened in a city I knew no one. I actually ended up sending this picture to my father to show him that I was doing something good. And funny enough, the cash I collected from them was exactly enough to pay my rent. Simply put, learning to run paid ads gave me the ability to survive long enough to figure out what I was doing. And just like that, I had learned the third way that you can let other people know about your stuff. Paid ads, AKA letting strangers know one-to-many. So that's how I learned them. Here's how I used it for this book. So for this book launch, we ran paid ads on these platforms, YouTube Shorts, YouTube Longs, Facebook, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, Instagram Posts, and TikTok. And I followed the exact steps in this book so that you could all go back and look at them as examples to model. I wrote these simple ads using this simple 3-step framework from the book, the what, who, when framework. I go into very deep description of every aspect of how you can script an ad and how you can get endless variations with one framework. And warm outreach is the single advertising method that best meets these requirements. So if you need to get customers, this is the fastest, cheapest, and most certain way to get them. And using warm outreach the right way will get you the first 5 customers that you need to start the business, quit the job, or launch the new product. In fact, Alexis used the principles from First 5 Clients Framework to start her first online business and got her first 3 customers in her first month. And then got 3 more customers the next month. And then got 3 more customers the next month. And this is in addition to the people that actually come in from the content itself. For many of you, you can cut your lead cost in half while also growing your sales. And so here's what the Hormozi Media Content Method will show you how to do. Number 1, hook attention. Get them to notice your content. So I'll show you how we pick great topics. There's 5 buckets that I use every time that are completely unique to the individual, so you never have to look like another Mickey Mouse copy-paste person ever again. B, we looked at a 50-year meta-analysis of news headlines, the most viral news headlines that got shared the most. And rather than give you a formula, there are 7 timeless themes that humans respond to. And I'll show you how to put those themes into your headlines without having to follow some, cookie-cutter format. Which brings me to C, how to structure the content to get shared. So here's what Paid Ads Playbook will show you how to do. Number 1, know where to advertise. 99% of the time, people are just starting in the wrong place. Number 2, get the right audience to see it. I can promise you, if you get the right person to see your ads don't even have to be that good. Number 3, make the best ad for them to see. And the nice thing is that humans have not changed. So you can follow the exact same process over and over again. Step 4, get permission to contact them. Because at the end of the day, if they don't give you permission, there's nothing you can do from there. And this is the exact system I used to script every ad you saw over the past 6 weeks, which I followed to a T to demonstrate that it works. Here are the actual results from only one platform. So you can see here it's about $2 a lead. I found my V10 one hanging around. And what you guys will get is V19. And I had four full rewrites. It took me 6 hours a day for nearly 2 years to bring this to you guys in the cleanest, simplest, most digestible way. And every time I didn't want to rewrite something, to make it a little bit clearer, my editor would yell at me. He'd be like, there's a 17-year-old kid who's going to sleep with his book under his pillow to get out of a situation. You owe it to him. And that's what got me through this, you guys. I enjoy writing, but it's a hard process. But I stand here now confident that this is my best work to date. So it's with a lot of pride that I present to you the $100 million Leads Collector's Edition, hardback. I did it with the sole purpose to show that they work to advertise anything to anyone, period. So I used all the methods in the book to advertise the book itself. Because if you know what you're doing, you don't need a lot of time. You just need to do the right stuff the right way. But knowing what to do is the hardest part. Again, which is why we've dedicated our huge resources to this mission, to make real business education accessible for everyone. And I'm going to do my darndest to live up to that ideal for you guys today. That is my promise. So I'm going to deliver to 2 types of people today. Type 1, for people who need to put their oxygen mask on and take care of themselves and their family. I promise you, I will help you get closer to that today for free, period. So you're going to want to stay until the end because I'm going to deliver on that big time. Warm outreach. I'm 21 years old. I'm not happy in my work. I wanted to start a business, but I was too chicken. So I decided to start a fitness nonprofit because I liked fitness, but I was still afraid to charge money. But I wanted people who participated to have some skin in the game so they'd still care and try. People would donate $500 to $1,000 to the charity of their choice, and I would train them online for no compensation. And that idea was all great, except I had no customers. So I reached out to everyone on my friends list one-on-one, and I asked if they knew anyone who'd be interested. And out of thousands of them, six said yes. So I asked them to start paying me directly. And that's how I advertised to start my first business using warm outreach, AKA reaching out to people who know you one-on-one. And learning to advertise this way saved me from a career I didn't enjoy and got me started on my entrepreneurial journey. Each company who fully adopted the new lead meta exploded in revenue and growth. In fact, in the first 90 days, each business went from 0 to $6,000 a month in additional revenue, to month 2, $19,000 a month in additional revenue, to month 3, $34,000 a month in additional revenue. So the average business went up by month 3 to $34,972 on average, and that included the folks that did nothing. So you could say this worked. And so here's what Lead Magnet Master will show you how to do. Step 1, get a way to contact them, get your leads. Step 2, I'll show you how to know what to say. All right, so the exact voicemail scripts that we use, the exact email scripts that we use, the exact follow-up scripts that we use, the exact DM scripts that we use, and the warm-up scripts. So how to personalize the messages at scale to get replies, and what to say when they reply, and how to convince strangers to take the next step. And then finally, step 3, contact them when they're ready and able to listen. So I'll show you how we automate delivery and automate distribution so that you can get way more replies for less effort, and the perfect follow-up sequence. I told you we do 15,000 reach outs a day. We know what the cadence is. I'll tell you what works best. In fact, this is the exact step-by-step process that we scaled during COVID as a gym company. And this is how you make crazy profits. But at the end of the day, to grow forever, you just got to get more customers to refer than exit. In fact, this referral playbook generated $300,000 a week in sales for us at Gym Launch. The best part is we found out by accident when my ads got shut off for 2 weeks, and we still kept making sales. But after realizing it happened by accident, we reverse engineered what we had done and started doing it on purpose. And then we started implementing them in our locations. And like clockwork, we could triple how many people stayed and how many people they sent. And here's what the referral playbook will show you how to do. Step 1, figure out your referral percentage to churn percentage. All right, that is the ratio that we will optimize for the rest of this. Step 2, get more people to refer without asking them. All right, this is the result of those findings. And so what I'm going to give you is my 7 all-time best referral programs that you can implement to get leads tomorrow. tomorrow. In fact, Vadim copy and pasted one of my referral programs into his business and got 105 people and added $28,000 to his annual revenue for free. Because that's the beautiful thing about referrals. It costs nothing. Run one of my 7 referral programs in this playbook and get customers tomorrow. All right, which on its own would cover the investment from this entire program, which would be life-changing for you, but I value today only a fraction of my investment of time and money at $997. So here's what you get. You get lead magnet mastery. You get the first 5 clients framework. You get Mozi Media content method. You get the cold outreach playbook. You get the paid ads playbook. You get the referral playbook. Total value, $82.82. Now, if you're the type of person who loves building relationships and you believe in expanding the size of the pie and finding win-win scenarios and want to create long-term allies on your entrepreneurial journey, then you're going to love this. The affiliate playbook. You sell 10 affiliates per month, not customers. You sell 10 affiliates per month. And then each affiliate sells you 1 new customer per month for you. And so every month, you add another $100,000 of revenue on top of last month. So it looks like this. The first month, you get 10 affiliates to send you 10 customers. The next month, you get another 10 affiliates who send you another 10 customers for a total of 20 new customers. The next month, another 10 affiliates for a total of 30, sending you 30 customers. And affiliates keep sending you customers, and you keep growing. In 12 months, you've made $7.8 million, and it continues thereafter. But only scenario 2 keeps growing month after month after month with the same work. Same work, more money, leverage high. That's a lot more money for the same work, and the best part is it's free. You just attach your offer to their offer and let them advertise for you. So the affiliate playbook will show you how to, step 1, find your ideal affiliates. Step 2, make them a win-win offer, which is really key. If you noted for this event, the win-win is that the top affiliates, I would provide value to their audience rather than saying, hey, top affiliates get a Lamborghini, which would not add value to their audience, right? You can structure a way that everyone wins, which is one of my favorite ways to use affiliates. Step 3, train them to sell your stuff, because if they don't know how to sell your stuff, they're going to say the wrong thing and people have bad expectations. Step 4, figure out what to pay them. We paid tens of thousands of dollars at Gym Launch for a consultant to come in who only sets up affiliate payment compensation programs, and I'm going to give you everything they gave me. And as a reminder that this works, today, this is the exact process I followed to get 23,722 affiliates who promoted this event. You'll have the Mozi Media content playbook, which we have never shown publicly. This will show you step-by-step how we've scaled. The cold outreach playbook, which literally saved Gym Launch at its hardest time and was able to scale a gym company during COVID, because that's how bulletproof it is once you get it right. The paid ads playbook, which has been the source of my material wealth and is the fastest way to get new customers, even if you have no reputation. The referral playbook, which is actually the Silicon Valley hack at getting unlimited free customers by getting your customers to get you more customers. And then the affiliate playbook, which is where you lock arms with other businesses, you find partners, and you all charge forward together. And you get to benefit from their advertising. For context, within our portfolio, we do a total of 15,000 plus reach outs per day. And generate zillions, that's the actual number, zillions of engaged leads per day as a result. As a fun proof point, Gym Launch has spoken to, not reached out to, spoken to 25,000 gym owners. So I'm being clear, they've gotten on the phone with 25,000 gym owners in an industry of only 150,000 gyms and health clubs. All right, that's 1 out of 6 of all gyms. You can share the books with coworkers and employees, your friend group, your clients for an upcoming event, for your birthday or holiday, or because the collector's editions will just be worth more than any other version of the book. Because you and your people want to read it at the same time, which is how Layla and I do things. And so all I do is I ask you to share them. So now that we've covered that, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is, in 6 months, Mozi Nation grew from here to here. Now for the bad news. I had to order books here, but I didn't know we'd grow to here. So I only have 150,000 hardbacks and 30,000 hats on hand, which is why this may be the best offer I've ever given at not $12,000, not $4,997, but $2,997. I'm not going to ask for $12,076, even though it'd be totally reasonable and a bargain. I'm not going to ask for $4,997. I'm not even going to ask for $2,997. I'm going to give you access to everything we talked about today for a single payment of A single payment of. It's free. I love you guys. Gotcha. Yes. It's 100% free. And as a token of my appreciation, I will give you my hat. So let me tell you why this hat means so much to me. Because in the early days, whenever I started a business, the first thing I did was make a hat. It made the little idea I had in my head feel real, a bit of proof I could hold in my hands. And many times, it felt like the realest part of my dream. And today, this hat is a visual reminder of my commitment to our new mission, to make real business education accessible to everyone. And until today, there was only one way you could own this hat, and it was by working at acquisition.com.